Is this thing on?
Welcome back to another episode of Spooled Life Live. I'm your host, Ram Garcia, and we are in the beautiful Roy's Bait and Tackle Studio here in Corpus Christi. We got all the staff here on the fly side for support. If you just want to get away from the house and talk to somebody, and you're pissed off at your wife, or your kids got all D's, and you just want to get away for a little bit, just come to Royce Bait. Even if you ain't got no money, just come over here. We got an ATM machine here. Get your that'll teach your wife, right? Get her ATM card.
There you go.
And come in here. And Austin Matthews is in the house, of course, right? My buddy Austin here. Man, Austin, we got a hell of a giveaway today. We're not going to show it yet, but you're going to want to jump into this one. I know we talked about it. You weren't going to participate in any of the giveaways anymore because you wanted to give a chance for everybody else to win. But this is going to be a sneaky. This is going to be called the Spooled Life Live Sneaky Swagger Packer. Yvonne Crisp is also in the house, right? Go Cowboys.
Jeez.
Guys, if y'all are cruising in, it's kind of windy outside, right? A little breezy, right? It's, I think, a cold front, real mild cold front blew in yesterday. It's nice and fresh to go downtown, cruise by the T-heads, go wave at the Selena statue for a little bit, maybe get a raspa, wild cherry, ice cream on top, vanilla, right? Make sure it doesn't tip over and fall off on those little paddle little boats out there.
Paddle yak.
Hey, and if if you and your wife are in good standings, well, just bring your wife too and make it like a romantic getaway downtown. Find out that it's too late to drive home and just get a room at the Omni, right?
Now you're talking my language.
And go upstairs to the bar, get a couple of drinks in you, make it like a Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day all over again, right? Jacqueline Tarango's in the house. Tequila bar. The tequila bar coming to Rockport, I believe. I think I'm saying it right. Tequila.
You got me, brother. But I
right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tequila something. Tequila bar, or I think they got a whiskey bar as well. I've been wanting to try it out. I know they're hiring for a couple of bouncers or bar security. That's my application, but I didn't get it.
I'm expecting a phone call.
Yeah, I didn't get it, so I'm like, well, maybe next year. I'll start my diet Monday, and I'll start lifting some weights and stuff. Want to give a shout out to our headline sponsors, of course, Royce Bait and Tackle, Down South Lures, Tow Corpus Christi, AFTCO. We're wearing AFTCO. Let's talk about sun protection for a little bit, guys. Sun protection should be, well, what is more important, sun protection or floating protection, like a PFD, right?
I guess it depends on how tall you are.
There you go, right? If you're fishing in a foot of water,
I need a PFD.
Yeah, that's true, right? Both of them are super important, but I would say get covered up. The sun is deadly, but as well, man, if you ain't got your PFD on correctly, that could be deadly as well, right? Sometimes wearing your PFD is not necessarily to protect you or save you, but it's more to bring you back to your family, right? So y'all be safe. Don't even think about that, right? I mean, I don't want to ruin y'all's fishing adventure, right? Just be safe out there and have a good time, right? AFTCO clothing, Marshwear clothing, Sarge custom rods, new canoe, and my favorite, Karbach Brewery. What are we drinking today, Gary? No, get the other one. Get the other one.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say your name yet.
Oh.
So let's start over.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna rewind.
Yeah, we're gonna rewind a little bit. What are we drinking today, Gary?
Today we got a little.
I said your name. I haven't even had my first Karbach, man, right? Yeah.
But salud. This is Karbach.
Karbach Brewery. Let's see what this thing tastes like.
It's my favorite beer. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow,
I hope you brought more.
Karbach Staycation session L. I'm not sure what kind of session they're talking about, but we're on the podcast session right now. Why go anywhere else is the question
So long as you've
of the
got
day,
these, I'm not going anywhere.
right? We might be here all night long. This might be one of those 24-hour podcasts.
Mm,
That's smooth, man.
that's hit the
And
spot.
that's a smooth 4.8% alcohol content, guys. So remember, drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Pull over or something, right? I'm just kidding. We used to have nah, I'm not gonna get into it. Karbach Brewery, right? Guys, I have a hell of a show for y'all today. Coming in all the way from the H,
From the H,
right?
just for
And
you, bro.
I had no idea. And I almost, man, I was this close, dude. This close to wearing my Rangers cap. Because I was at a birthday party. Happy birthday, Sonny, my niece, 8 years old today.
Hey, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday. We were out there having a good time and eating pizza and getting on the zip line, and everybody was looking at me like, what the heck is this dude doing over here on the zip line, right? And I'm like, man, I had to pay $30. If I had to pay $30, I'm getting on the zip line, bro.
Bro, our zip line was a clothesline back in
Oh, dude, that's a good one, man. Right? I, y'all jump in on the comments if you all did not have a clothesline, dryer.
a dryer.
Yeah, a dryer at the house.
And it was always perfect in
Yeah.
Corpus. It's
Oh,
always
dude.
windy. It dries very fast.
Oh yeah, you have to wear your clothes like rock solid. Like they'd come off that clothesline just like a rock, off that thing. And I remember we had one. It was a double because we lived a pretty lavish lifestyle. So my dad built us a double
We had
clothesline.
triple.
Triple. You see, that's what I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, triple.
But that was in Beeville.
Yes.
Beeville, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about that yet.
You're jumping ahead.
Right. We used to play races, man, through the clothes, and we'd knock them off the line, and we'd be like, "What the heck?" And the horquilla would bust open, and I would flip them over the line and just hope for the best that my mom wouldn't catch us back there. It was an amazing time. It was a lot simpler time,
Yeah, a lot simpler.
guys. But this isn't about me. All right, we're gonna have a show about me sooner or later. Maybe the 100th show. We're at show 58
Ooh,
today.
nice.
And I got a special guest for our number 58. I got none other than coming all the way from the H, Mr. Gary Moreno.
Pleasure, brother. Thank you for
Gary Moreno
Moreno.
or Marino?
Moreno.
Because I've heard Marino, and I was like, man, is this?
Well, it depends on the audience.
Yeah, yeah. Here in Roy's Bait and Tackle, it's Moreno.
It's Moreno.
Right, we're gonna go with Moreno. Man, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bro, I live a very humble, easy life. I grew up in a small town just down the road in Beeville. Had a ranch there growing up. Very easy. My grandfather would take me fishing as a kid. I actually moved to Corpus. I don't know. I was probably 8 or 9 years old. When I moved here, I went to elementary school here.
Oh wow.
I went to Caffey Middle School.
Okay.
I went to King for a little while for a couple of semesters and left King, went to Carroll, graduated from Carroll way back in the day. We're just going to put it that way.
And so you're pretty much from Corpus.
Yes, I grew up here.
It's easier to say you're from Corpus than Beeville.
Yeah, for the most part.
Does Beeville have a Chick-fil-A? Because that's when you know.
I don't think they have a Chick-fil-A yet. But back when I was there, they barely had a McDonald's.
Yeah. See, I grew up in Robstown.
They had a Stars. It wasn't even Sonic.
Oh, yeah. And we got a Barreras fried chicken. That's our Chick-fil-A, is Barreras fried chicken.
There you go.
Oh, dude. The gizzards? Man, guys, y'all think I like jalapeno poppers.
Oh, gosh.
Talking about the gizzards, man. Getting them with, you tell them to put the French fries first on the little bowl, right? Paper bowl French fries. Gizzards over the French fries. Gravy all over everything.
Bro.
I don't need the bun. You could have the bun. I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Now you want me to leave here. I'm
Right.
going to go eat.
It's
I'm
probably on your
hungry.
way. It's probably on your way out next
On the
to
way
the
back.
HEB
Yeah.
in Robstown.
Yeah.
Or should I say the HEBs?
The HE.
Right? It's right there, dude. it's a real friendly atmosphere. There's nowhere to sit and eat.
That's the good one.
You got to pick it up and I mean, I guess you could. There is a picnic table there, but that's more for like the people that are waiting for their meal, right?
Yeah, that reminds me back when they
Those
didn't
are the
have
good
tables.
ones,
You
man.
actually went back and you sat on the trunk of the car.
Oh, let's get the movie
Yeah,
theaters.
get the movie. Yeah, no, that's when you hid in the trunk of the car.
Oh yeah, right. That was that was sitting in the back. That was sitting in the back of the car. Oh, dude.
And your volume box hung on the window.
Right?
Those were my days.
What would they serve? Was it just popcorn?
It was just popcorn.
It
There was
wasn't.
no nachos. No, it
Oh
was just
yeah.
popcorn and sodas.
No pizza or
No,
no. Could you bring in your own snacks?
just don't get caught. It's not
Oh really?
just like
Like
nowadays.
they weren't gonna go and search your.
No,
Nowadays they search your purse. They're not gonna go search your vehicle or
no.
for some
A
pizza
clear
Hut or
bag. Or
yeah. Right. Austin Matthews says, I thought those were used for catfish baits, gizzards. It is, right?
I guess it
Uh,
is.
gar, maybe it's for some gar, chicken legs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Why not? I don't know. I catch a bunch of gar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we're bored and not seeing redfish,
Man,
I throw out a gar all day long.
oh yeah, dude. So Beeville,
Beeville.
and you're a bull rider.
Yeah, back many years ago, I actually had a full scholarship to go to Sul Ross,
Oh wow,
and unfortunately, I missed my ride, but I did have a full rodeo scholarship to go.
dang! Do they still do that nowadays?
Oh yes,
Scholarships for bull
oh
riders and stuff.
absolutely, oh
So there's
yes.
like a Del Mar College bull rider team.
I don't know about now.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if they do it now.
I don't know about the smaller, but like Sul Ross and Tarleton, all the big ones. Yeah, they've got rodeo teams.
Oh wow, that's
Oh
cool,
yes.
man.
But I had a full ride. They were actually going to fly me down to Sul Ross, and give me a tour of the campus, and they were going to find money to give me a full ride there. Back when I was in high school,
Hmm.
because I did really well, really
Dang.
really well as a bull rider.
Do you think you did very well because of your height?
uh, that's probably a big factor.
Right. Got, uh, Mr. Gary's on a stool right now. All right. How tall are you?
I'm six. Well, right now I'm 5'4". Give me a little bit. I'll be 6'2".
Right there you go. I wonder, does that play a part in bull riding?
You know, it
Like
does.
lower the
It
center of
does
gravity
lower
kind
the
of deal?
center of gravity. But honestly, I think for the folks that are still rodeoing, the biggest thing for it is heart.
Oh yeah.
You got to have a big heart, and that's with anything. The desire and the drive.
Right.
I just that's what my desire was. As
Hmm.
as a kid growing up in a ranch, all we did was break horses and watched rodeos growing up, and I said I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough that I got the opportunity in Robstown, as a matter of fact.
There you go.
Back
Well,
when,
you were destined for greatness
well,
if you passed through there.
yeah. So we spent many a weekends there, and my first time I got on the bull, got bucked off, and I had a big strawberry because I landed straight on my head, on my forehead, and I got up and I said, "I love it. I want some more." And I did it for, I guess I rode about 23 years.
Oh wow.
And finally, at the end of my career, I tore a pectoral tendon and had to have the tendon re-sewn back into the shoulder.
Oh shit.
And said, I'm too old and I'm too fat to do this. So I went ahead and I hung up the spurs.
Yeah. You already had a family by then and everything.
And that was what the big eye opener for me was, that I was fortunate that I had a job that was able to keep me in the office while I recouped. And after all my surgeries, they didn't let me go. And I said, if I get hurt like this again, I'm going to lose everything.
Yeah.
Luckily they took care of me. Fortunate, the good Lord really blessed me. And, I said, I can't afford to lose what I've worked so hard for.
Yeah.
So it was a no brainer. I just had to give it up.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy that at the beginning, like I said earlier, this is our 58th episode. And it's my honor to have the guy here that they created the movie 8 Seconds.
Yeah. We had
Right.
parts in it.
Oh, you did?
Well, I was supposed to. Actually, my hauler partners, they were all in the movie. All the guys,
Dang.
oh yeah.
All right, so let me change it again. It's an honor for me to have the one of the guys that came out on Yellowstone. Or no?
No,
I mean, there's
but
just little resemblance
there's a little resemblance.
of
Yeah,
Kevin Costner, right?
yeah.
Or Rip
Uh,
Wheeler,
I guess it depends on how many car boxes you have.
right? I think I'm more of a what's the old man's name?
Uh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. He's one of the cowboys on there, right? Man, so at what point did you start fishing?
You
Let's get
know,
to the good stuff.
the good stuff. What
Yeah.
what what we really want to dig into.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up as a kid fishing here. As a matter of fact, if
Here in Corpus.
here in Corpus, you know, as a kid, I grew up fishing the spillway.
Ooh.
There was a lot of light bulbs just went off right there.
Right. Uh-huh.
So I grew up fishing the spillway.
The spillway has hurt a lot of people's pocketbooks
Oh,
over the years,
I'm sure it has.
including mine. Right. I'm not. My wife told me that I'm not allowed to go to the spillway ever
You
again.
know, uh, uh, growing up with my grandfather, you know, he always took me out and we didn't do anything fancy. There was no lures and no live shrimp. You know, you went and got 2 or 3 pounds of dead shrimp,
Right.
frozen in a box. You put it in a bucket and let it thaw it out in the water while you were fishing.
Mhm.
That was me growing up. You know, through the times, like I said, I grew up here, went fished at the spillway, and it wasn't till I don't know, I was 18, 19, I started, you know, fishing with the live shrimp and the popping corks and, you know, got to actually chasing speckled trout. And I know that probably just hit a bell.
Right.
But no, I got to fishing the road, the side of the causeway over here and
Okay.
Deadman's Hole, you know, Shamrock Coves. I'd wade all back through there.
Yeah.
And I did really well, you know, and I've always enjoyed it. It was always great. And then I got a boat as I got a little older. Got me a little flat bottom and I moved to Houston with work and got to fishing up there. So then, fast forward a few more years, I went and got me a really nice boat. And my wife actually, and I'm sure this will probably come up here in the question how I got into tournament fishing.
Hmm.
So my wife actually won a raffle, one of those sight fishing trips in Louisiana. She bid and bid, and she won it. You know,
Yeah.
to surprise me, and
Oh, it's
I
going
was
to be like a present
it
for
was
you.
going to be a present. You know, I
Okay.
was like, and you know, I was a pretty avid fisherman.
But
know.
you're like a recreational angler
Yeah,
at this
at that
point.
point, I was still a recreational angler, not really serious. You know, I had friends that had condos in Mansfield, and you know, we'd go chase big trout, and you know, just had fun. I got into throwing lures and really concentrating on looking for big fish. You know, I
Right.
was after the dirty 30.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, I actually caught my first dirty 30 right here on the side of the road on the causeway.
Oh, really?
I caught a 30
What side of the road was it on? North side or south
on
side?
the I guess the north side, the red dot side.
Okay, so what light post was it?
Ah. So yeah,
Man, so that's surprising that there's good quality fish
there
there.
is. You know, this was a long time ago as well.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I did, and I caught my first 30-inch there.
Dang.
Really, really good fish, fat fish, wintertime fishing. I didn't have waders back. I just went wet
Yeah.
wading. It was 40 degrees and, you
Yeah.
know, it was freezing. But that's how I got into it. But back to the sight fishing,
Hmm.
you know, that my wife won that trip and I got to go do it. And I love hunting. And if you've never been sight fishing up on a tower, it's like hunting,
Right.
you know. So I immediately became addicted. There was nothing that I didn't want more than to go chase redfish up on on a
You're like a
platform.
redfish sniper,
That's there you go.
right?
That's it. That's it. That's basically what you have. So once I got bit by that bug, it was just immediate for me.
Tournament.
Tournament.
Okay.
I was just strictly hooked. I actually,
What was one of the first tournament series you jumped onto?
it was one of the little local is the GRS back home in Houston, the
Okay.
Galveston Redfish
Yeah.
series.
They're still around.
They're still going
That's
good.
a good quality
It
tournament
really is.
system
It's very competitive, you know, for fishing there. The
At that
guys,
time, it was just boats, right?
it was just boats.
I think here recently they've let us kayakers fish.
Right.
I've yet to fish one. I might do it this year.
It's a really fun event. It
Yeah.
really is. You know, the turnout is great where they have the captain's meeting and the weigh in. You know, it brings a really good crowd.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I like, man. I want
oh
the
my gosh.
atmosphere
Yes.
of a good quality
Yes.
throw. Not maybe necessarily. It's hard to say a professional tournament, right?
Yeah, I guess you define professional.
I mean, because you could be anything you want,
Exactly.
especially on Facebook, right?
Yes.
I mean, I could say I'm the host of Spooled Live, and now I'm like up there with Oprah, right? And
In my
Dr.
eyes,
Phil,
you are. In
huh?
my eyes, you are.
Yeah. Oh, I know, right? So there you go, right? See, you're probably already halfway done with your Karbach. Now it's coming now,
You
right?
think they're sips, they're
Yeah.
gulps.
But if you're gonna say a tournament, right? Like let's just say the GRS. We're already on that topic, right?
Right.
And you give us a tournament worth traveling for, right?
Yep.
Not everybody,
Not everybody.
right? But hell, we're from Corpus, right?
You know,
We're gonna travel to Galveston, maybe not fish there.
right.
We're gonna travel, and if you want to soak in the tournament, you go get a hotel and you bring your family. Hey, y'all hold on here, and we fished a tournament. It was before the professional Redfish series. It was called the Salty Angler Tournament or something like that. The same tournament that's thrown by Ron, the Salty Angler Magazine Tournament, or something like that. It was up in Houston, and we fished over there, me and my fishing partner, and we got a tournament. We got a hotel. I took the whole family up there, and of course, I woke up too early for them, and they stayed in the swimming pool, and we ended up getting like second place, man, there, and of course, my wife has no idea about anything of fishing.
No, no,
And
no,
she
no.
gets pissed off when I bring in kayaks and
That's what I tell my
and
wife.
fishing rods and
I
stuff.
won second. I won $50.
Oh yeah,
A
well,
$1,500
yeah,
entry fee.
well,
I
I
won
think
50
ours was
bucks.
up there like 1,000, something like that. So when I showed up back to the hotel, hey, guess what? Here it
Make it
is.
rain.
Yeah, well, man, we're gonna get extra guacamole tonight. You know what I'm saying? And, just to soak in the atmosphere of something else other than Corpus, right?
Right, right.
You know, I feel like most of your kayak tournaments, and I don't want to get too deep into kayak tournaments because I don't want this to be a kayak focused tournament show, but m- for the most part, it's Roadrunner style. Hey, guess what? Just be here in time for the weigh-in.
That's it.
You can fish anywhere you want. Just be in time here for the weigh-in, right?
That's it.
And if you fish your area, right? Hell, most of us from Corpus, we fish maybe every other 3 days, right? Or if the weather's good, guess what? We're calling in. I hope my boss isn't watching, right? But guess what? The wind's gonna be low. We're calling in, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, and we find those days that we could fish. We could find fish.
I
We know where
promise you.
they're at.
Exactly.
But to fish this GRS is in Galveston. I feel like, hey, guess what? It is a road runner, but there's going to be some boundaries, guys.
Right.
Don't be fishing over there in Corpus at the spillway. Don't be jumping that fence
Yeah.
over there. You know what I mean? And hell, I think the ticket's like $500-600, and if you're going to win $1,000, I mean,
It's to the good.
you know what I mean?
It's not good for everybody that you have on a jersey, but
Yeah.
yeah, no.
And some people will do that.
No, it ain't to me, it ain't worth it. It's
That's
not
why
worth it.
there's lie detectors,
That's it.
polygraph tests.
That's it. And I promise you, they'll
Oh,
get you.
I've been through some of them, man. And I've been super fortunate to
Uh,
have been in that place.
I've
If you're placing in a big tournament, you're gonna get a polygraph test.
I
I'm
remember
super
my
fortunate to have
first
that.
one.
They will bust you guys.
I remember
They
my
will.
first
There's been
one.
tons of people busted by
Oh
them.
my gosh, I was nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. The
Oh, there you
first
go.
time I sat down and they hooked you up, and I thought I was going to get electrocuted.
Oh yeah,
They had wires everywhere and things on your fingers and a pad you had to sit on your butt.
yeah.
And I was like, holy cow, don't let there be a short.
Dude.
It's not going to take much to fry me.
Oh no. And they know it's not. I don't think I spoke to. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name because he's part of the Corpus Christi Police Department. So I'm not going to say it, but I talked to him while I was going through one of mine. It's not necessarily the question that busts you, it's the body's reaction
That's it.
that busts you, right? I guess
It's
it's part of the question too, but
it's
he's not he's not looking for that answer. He's looking at body. Uh,
It's the what do they call it? The involuntary movements of the
yeah,
body.
yeah,
You know, the
the
perspiration,
spikes and
the
stuff like
spikes, the
that. Yeah,
perspiration in your finger, the respiration.
yeah,
You know, the shifting your weight on your butt pad, and
yeah,
the little subtleties.
yeah.
You know, I tried really, really hard when I was getting asked the questions on how they based the test off of. I said,
Mhm.
I'm going to beat this thing off the first test. You know, when they were testing it on the numbers that they put up there. And I said, I got him. He said, man, you're a horrible liar. I
Oh,
said,
really?
get out of here. He said, no, you're a horrible liar. You can't lie for nothing. I said,
Yeah.
wow. And I was trying to, bend it. And no,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Oh, and I did mine. He, of course, I'm that guy that's gonna ask a question, right? You're gonna ask me a question, hey, guess what? I'm gonna ask you one too. You're right. So I wanted to know, how in the hell do you know that I'm lying? And he
Yeah,
was like, well, look, this is exactly what I'm gonna look at. It doesn't matter if you know or
right,
not.
right.
Tell me that this is blue, and it was red, right?
Hmm.
And I said, yeah, it's blue. Yeah,
And you're thinking
yeah.
in your
Look,
mind, it's blue.
yeah,
I can see it as blue.
yeah.
And oh
Hey,
no,
look right here.
you're
I know
failed
something.
miserably.
You might not be lying, but I know something's going on.
Yep, yep.
That's enough indication to
That's all it takes.
raise the red flag.
Yep,
And then I'm going to follow up with another question,
yep,
right? This one might be a true one.
yep.
That these questions, I want to say, dude, I think some of them were like, hey, are you following the parks and wildlife? Right? Yes. Okay. Take everything off. Man. You are
Yeah,
right.
you're done.
Right.
You're done.
That's an immediate,
Yeah,
right? Um, okay, is this one red? So he wants to make sure that his equipment is functioning
right,
correctly,
right.
right? You know what? We need to get this guy on the show, right? We're gonna save that. Jose Rodriguez failed his, so
Uh,
maybe we'll get Jose Rodriguez to tell us his story. Maybe we'll get him.
uh,
Man, so tournament fishing, you go and buy a big. Did you start off with a real nice boat?
no, actually, I started off when I started tournament fishing. I had a little scooter, a
Okay.
little 18-foot scooter. Nothing fancy. Just it floated in shallow water. It got me around where I wanted to go,
Yeah.
and I went, oh man, I'm just gonna dominate. These guys they're in for a serious butt whooping, and I think I zeroed like 5 tournaments in a row.
Man, it's tough, dude. It's tough
Yeah.
to just the mentality you have to have, not necessarily a big tournament, but just any tournament. When you
Uh,
see the names you've been looking after
oh
over the
yes.
years, like if I were to get on and I see, oh shit, there's Ram Garcia
Oh my,
and
yeah.
there's Gary Moreno,
Oh, what? It just don't even show up.
yeah, right? I mean, to just go,
Yes.
that's the hardest part
That
is just going, right?
when I started, I couldn't tell you how many times in about the first 6 or 7 tournaments, man, about a week before the tournament, I bet you I could count on one hand, if not two hands, how many hours I got asleep 4 to 5 nights prior to a tournament. I
Yeah.
would not sleep. I got the jitters. I would start getting migraines and anxiety and just had tensions in my neck because I was just so anxious looking forward to a tournament.
Oh yeah.
It was that bad, and knock on wood, the jitters, the bug has kind of gone away, and
Yeah.
I enjoy it for what it is instead of letting it beat me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that wasn't not long ago because I am new to the tournament tour.
How many years have you been doing it?
This is going to be my third full year tournament fishing.
Full blown?
Full blown, following a tour, sticking with a tour.
Are
And
are you a guide?
I did have a business. I quit guiding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly, I put so much effort into trying to chase a tournament tour and that it consumes my weekends. I love taking people out fishing, taking kids, showing them how to fish, showing them what to look for, the signs, the things that we do on a daily basis
Hmm.
that we just kind of not take for granted, but you forget that these are important steps. And for somebody that doesn't know that you could show them, oh man, it's priceless.
Yeah.
I remember taking kids out. I had a couple that brought their son and their daughter, and it was a job for me. I was baiting hooks and throwing rods and netting fish and, the whole trip. And by the end of the day, the kids were baiting their own hooks and throwing their
Oh
own
yeah,
rods, and I wanted to get net know that they had it. And I was
yeah.
like, oh man, that's,
The
yeah,
job
that's amazing.
accomplished, right?
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. That's cool. See, I like that.
Yeah.
Right. I like to hear stories like that, not to where the guide is just monotoned
Right.
and you jump in the boat and he tells you to sit in the front, right? And you want to take a selfie with him, right? Because this is your first time on a boat or something. And
Yep.
you look at him and he's just not even smiling and stuff. And he already got paid and he's just going to take you
Oh
to go
yeah.
catch a
Yeah.
bunch of 15-inch trout.
His job is to load the box. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
it is.
I want to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you and
What do you
I want to
do?
learn something,
Exactly.
right? I might,
Exactly.
I mean, I might just show up and not have anything. I just want to go fishing, man. Just
Yeah.
take me outside.
Yeah.
Just take me
Yeah.
on the
Just get in
water,
the outdoors.
right?
And we take for granted because we do it so much that there are probably millions of people that have never been out on a boat, don't know what it is to see a sunrise on a flat, calm day, and watch the sun come up and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah,
People don't have that luxury, and we take not that we take it for granted, but we forget sometimes that
yeah,
this is a privilege, and we're very fortunate that the Lord has blessed us to be able to do what we love.
yes, man. Some of those posts that people do that aren't that just put a picture of the sunrise. I thought those were posts that they didn't catch anything. That's not what it is. That's not what it is.
Well, for me, no,
Oh, okay,
that's the start of a
right.
of a perfect day.
Yeah, that's
You
like
know,
midweek post,
catching fish, that's icing on the cake.
right? So in the 3 years that you've been doing this professionally, because I'm going to call you professional.
Yeah. I put my pants on one leg at a time like everybody else.
So you're human.
I am very human. I'm not above it. I try to remember where I came from,
Yeah.
and
So
not
would you
be,
call yourself professional?
you know, wouldn't say I'm professional. I'm probably better than average,
There you go.
but you know,
I'm going to call you professional.
okay, I'll
And
take
this
it.
is why I'm
I'll
going
take
to,
it.
right? This is why I'm going to call you professional because it wasn't when I ask you about it, right? It wasn't about money. That was
No.
it wasn't about I want to go beat everybody. It wasn't about what are they going to feed me, right? It was about, you know what? I enjoy seeing kids learn something or getting exposure or getting something out of this,
Right.
right? And I feel like that's professional,
For,
right?
for me, what I really, really enjoy and why I part of the reason, now I can't say this is why, but part of the reason that I really strive to do good and push myself, not just me, but my family's driving me to help get better is because people who know my story know where I've came from, what I've been through, that if I can get to this level and my name can be thrown into the mix with the Kevin Akins and Clark Jordans and Dwayne and Sean, and Eddie, if my name is at that level, that means I've done something right. And people can look at me and say, look, he's made it because he was dedicated. That's what I can do. I know I can do that.
Because you're part of the Bassmasters.
I've qualified the last 2 years for the Bassmasters.
So what's the difference between, and this is no disrespect to the professionals, right? On the water, right? What's the difference between somebody that pays to enter the tournament? Because the Bassmasters, you have to pay to get in, but not everybody qualifies for the Bassmasters, right?
Yeah, well,
Like I can't just say, hey, guess what? I want to fish the Bassmasters.
and
Here's this amount of money,
right.
and now I'm in.
No, this for what we did for the Bassmasters was an invitation only.
Okay.
So you had to, within your tour, you had to be either the top one or two anglers for the year, or you had to have won like the Redfish World Series. There's a it's a strict exclusive invite. There's
Mm.
no entry fee. This is all paid.
How does the Bassmasters decipher what tournaments to look at for these anglers?
I would imagine it's just
Like, why the World Series? Why the Elite Series? Why the Anglers of the Year?
I honestly I think
Are those
it's
the only tournaments
those are
around?
the major ones that bring the high. I guess I don't know if you want
Isn't
to
that
call it
crazy?
politically correct or if it's right or wrong. I don't know, but those are the high end tournaments, the high entry fee. You're talking thousand,
Yeah.
1,500. Some of the guys it's $10,000 entries for the year. And
Oh, wow.
if you're competing at that level and paying that kind of money, and sponsors are putting their name on you, I think that would be the elite field. So if you're beating or you're competing and you're dominating in those fields, that's probably where I would look.
Right.
So I would imagine that's why those guys get the invites.
This past year it was in Carolina,
Yes, Charleston.
Charleston, Carolina. Do any of the tournaments that the Bassmasters looks at, are they all Texas-based tournaments? And then they pull the Bassmaster anglers and put them in another state?
No,
That's not how it
no,
works?
that's not how it works.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they, like I said, the tours from Texas to Charleston.
Oh, okay.
It's the tour
So some of these
stops.
anglers might be based out of
Yeah,
Charleston.
yeah, oh yeah,
Well, that's not
but
fair at all.
yeah, well, and that's the way it was over there. And we all know the outcome, and that's an extremely tough fishery.
Oh, yeah.
That's the toughest fishery that I've probably ever been fished
Yeah.
that I fished in.
And when you're doing your time frame on fishing over there, you need to have a certain time allotted for getting stuck.
Knock on wood, we got stuck. Uh, Aaron and I actually got stuck within 100 yards of one another.
Oh, really?
Oh
What do
yeah.
you do when you get stuck?
You
Do you get into
you
panic
sit
mode?
no, you sit down and you have a Karbach
Oh, yeah.
because you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's basically all you do. You're
But
not
do you have
moving.
an idea? Okay, we might get stuck around 10:30,
You know,
you know. Let's
there
at least get there by
there's a
10:30.
strategic um, point that you have to attack this, because when the tide is going to be high, when it's null, and when it's starting to come out.
Right.
So because we got there and we caught a lot of really quality fish during pre-fishing, really, really good fish. And we had a game plan and we executed flawlessly. Our game plan is from when we fished on our pre-fishing days to tournament day, the tide had gone from coming in, going null, and going out midday to going out all day and going null at the end of the day during our fishing trip. And that 2 or 3 hour change completely messed up our game plan.
Oh, wow.
It's that for what we had set up.
Hmm.
And it doesn't mean that we didn't see fish. We saw a lot of fish. We threw at a lot of fish. They just wouldn't eat.
Hmm.
But it's fishing. It's not catching.
Yeah, that's true. How did what was the outcome? Did you all do pretty good?
No, we made a showing. We made a presence.
Right.
We did the best we could.
You yourself, who's your fishing partner?
Tony Viator.
Tony Viator. Shout out
Tony.
to Tony. Let's
Thanks.
drink to Tony
Shit,
Viator. I
I'm
gotta
gonna
open up
drink.
another.
I'm gonna drink to my partner Tony.
This time we're opening up a fresh. Well,
I will, because this
okay.
was the first one I was gonna grab.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. You've been talking about that all day long.
Oh
Man.
yeah, that's what I'm talking
Here
about.
you go. Here's the Tony Viator.
Tony Viator, my partner.
Karbach Ranch water in the
Mm,
original lime.
mm, that's really good.
This is also a 4.5% alcohol. Right? Choosing a tournament partner.
Ah,
Why Tony Viator?
Tony was my partner on that tournament because he had finished in the top four along with myself.
Hmm.
And that's just how the pairings wound up for that
Oh,
tournament.
okay.
I have a partner that I normally fish with.
What's
He's
his name?
Steve Fleming,
Steve Fleming. There you go, Mr. Steve Fleming.
Game
Here's,
on Charters.
here's to you.
So he was the one that I took my first redfish trip with when my wife had won. He's a guide out of Houma, Louisiana,
Okay.
and him and I just kind of really hit it off. I'm kind of a personal kind of guy anyway. I kind of get along with a snake if
Yeah.
if he'd listen to me. But no, him and I really hit it off, and he had a lot of good things to teach and show me. Especially because I was fresh into this tournament scene,
Mhm.
and him being from Louisiana, I really wanted a partner that would know those waters while I knew Texas waters.
Yeah. So
And
eventually you're gonna head that way.
so it actually wound up being perfect because he spends 24 hours a day on the water. He guides full time.
Right.
So he knows the waters down there. He's got a really good game plan. And when we come down here, not that I've got a good game plan, but I try to put one together
Hmm.
during the days, for pre-fishing 2-3 weeks ahead of time. He come down and we'll fish together.
Hmm.
So it's a good ham and egg, as if you will.
Right. So is there any time throughout the day where there's any like conflicts?
At
There's gotta be.
the There
Right.
was there was in the beginning
Oh, really?
because I was so green,
Because
and
you have to have a streamlined,
you have
you know
to
what I mean?
you
It,
have
it
to
has to be for real,
it, and
right?
it and it and that's what kind of frustrated me when we first started tournament fishing. That he's a seasoned angler. I'm fresh. He wanted to like push and push fish and be
Mhm.
aggressive, and a really aggressive fishing style. And man, I was doing good just to see fish floating on the water so I could
Yeah.
throw at them.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, slow, methodical. Let's pick these areas apart. Just real meticulous. And he's going, no, no, we got. I'm like, man, if we do this, you're handicapping us because I can't help you.
Yeah.
He said, well, you're going slow. You're handicapping me. So the first tournament was kind of a not tough one, but we felt each other out. And by the next tournament, we actually had a really good game plan that
Mhm.
we found a happy medium. And it worked. And now it's okay. He's telling me slow down. You're
Yeah.
you're fishing too aggressive.
Uh-huh. See, I'd be that tournament partner that like shows up, turns on the barbecue pit,
uh,
and just brings out a Karbach, and
when we fishing?
then they'd be like, "Man, the tournament started about 3 hours ago." Yeah, well, the brisket's almost out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
uh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
Hey, we're gonna team up next
We're
year.
here to take photos, man. We joined this tournament for the influence, right? We're not here to win. We're here to go to the captain's meeting.
Oh gosh.
The tournament scene that you've seen so far, right? Do you feel like it's for the better? Or here in a couple years, guess what? We might not have no tournament scene
You
here in
know,
South Texas.
it's
Because we've seen the posts,
it's my
right?
it's my opinion.
Oh, this is the Gary Moreno show.
Well, it's still my opinion on what I see. And I think tournaments they're it's like anything. I think they're going to always be around. But personally, what we're lacking is for that one strong tour, maybe that individual or whatever the case may be, that will unify everything and pull it together and have a higher stakes than that what we have now,
Mm,
and really make it a true prestigious thing that it'll pull anglers from South Carolina, from Florida, from Texas to wherever the neutral waters are. And I think that's what's tough is because the neutral water, for in my opinion, would be Louisiana. But the Louisiana guys are, yeah, they're all about it because it's their home water.
right.
So it's kind of tough. But I think if you make
Where's the Bassmasters out of?
where they host,
Yeah, the organization
oh
Bassmasters.
shoot, I don't know.
It's definitely not from South Texas, right?
Yeah, I haven't got a clue.
I think that's what South Texas needs is its very own
Now,
Bassmasters.
if an organization at that level was to, hey, look, we're going to start a tour, and we're going to, you have to have an invite to be in the top 50 on this tour,
Yeah.
that you have to qualify from the other tours, kind of a junior tour to make it. That would be something that I think would really, really unify the sport.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
If somebody at that level was to just take the bull by the horns and say, "Look, this is the way the cow eat the cabbage, and we're going to have a tour stop in South Padre. We're going to have one in Delacroix, Louisiana, and we're going to have one in, Jacksonville, Florida. Uh,
Because you bring these tournaments, I fished a couple with you. You probably didn't know who the hell I was when I was there.
I was the guy in the back corner with my
Yeah.
head down,
I
kind
was
of
the
just quiet.
I was the one that went up there and picked up the first place check. But
That wasn't me.
the you bring your fan base.
I have
You're
a
super family oriented,
yes. I'm
right?
very, very strong, family oriented. When we did the show here in
I'm talking
Corpus,
about when
we
you show
we
up,
had a crew.
there's people with posters with your face on them, right?
We had a crew. There was quite a few people
That's
that,
cool, man.
I
Nobody does
love
that.
it. And I wish they would.
Yeah.
I wish they would. And maybe it's part of our Hispanic heritage, our culture. That we're very family oriented, and that's just very fortunate because I've got 16 aunts and uncles.
Oh,
So
really?
we have a very large family.
Man,
Yes.
so you and what was the other teammate that went to the Bassmasters?
Who? Tony
Nope,
or Jeremy?
nope,
Travis?
nope. It wasn't your partner. God dang, I just blew it. What the hell is his name? We had him on the show here a couple months ago. He went to Charleston, Carolina with you. He was the other team from here in Corpus.
Oh, Dwayne.
Nope. His partner.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Aaron
Yeah.
Salazar. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Actually, uh, yeah. Actually, Aaron and my brother, I believe they went to school together.
Great guy, man.
Aaron used to actually. We lived right across the street from their parents. And all
Yeah.
that. Hell yeah,
He was
great
about
guy.
an inch from not using that stool. You know, he's close. He's super close, man. But I lost my train of thought. But y'all were the only Hispanics up there,
Yes,
right?
that I'm aware of. Yes,
That's amazing, dude. See, that's what I look at.
Uh,
You know that.
brown power.
Let's do that, dude.
Brown power.
To Aaron and Mr. Moreno, Bassmasters. Here we go. You know, if we keep on doing this, Mr. Moreno, we're gonna finish our beer. Next show, I'm gonna have like a bottle of whiskey up here,
Oh my gosh.
and we'll just take some shots. Every time we take a shot, it's of something of some substance. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, I'm down. I'm game. Come on.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week, guys. All right.
We come back in an hour.
We're done here. Let me go next door to Specs, and I'll be right back. Right. That's amazing, man. To have that the culture
Yes.
following that. You
And
know.
it's really truly blessed. I mean, that's all I can say. That the Lord has truly blessed me. That I grew up and always kind of pushed to have family around.
Mhm.
So my daughters, my three girls, they're huge supporters. My wife, I mean, she honestly, she around here. She's actually the
She's
backbone.
shopping somewhere.
Yeah, she's shopping.
Uh-huh.
She's got my credit card. She's actually the backbone of what actually drives me, because the what she just accomplished. That's what I would like to accomplish in my fishing career.
Mm.
So
What does she do?
she just passed her boards and she got her FNP. So we're gonna open a clinic as a nurse practitioner.
Oh wow.
Or she's gonna open a clinic as a family nurse
In
practitioner
Houston.
in Houston.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you, we're
Another
gonna
one.
waste it all, man. Here's to Mr. Moreno's wife, Mrs. Moreno. Congratulations, man, guys. If
Thank
y'all are listening, I hope y'all are drinking with us because hey, we might not be able to walk out of it, and we might have to spend the night here. One more question, and then we'll get to the good stuff.
All right, come on.
What we're gonna give away.
Come
All right, guys. I'm gonna give y'all a hint. There's a fishing reel involved. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
on.
Let's talk about tournament etiquette.
Yes.
Etiquette on the water. You're out there fishing. Somebody cuts you off, but your type of fishing, you stay on the boat, right?
We're strictly boat anglers.
You don't get off and wade.
No, there's
So if
no
you see a
waiting.
wade angler, if you're on the boat, you're drifting.
Right.
Another boat comes up and they jump off the boat. Then what?
They upwind, they downwind. Typically most of the anglers on tour, they're I know around here it's completely different from the way I fish back home. So for me back home, if somebody jumps off and bails, I'll just circle and go around them because I'm fishing
Oh,
shorelines.
okay.
I'm fishing.
But this is just a random angler that shows up,
Yeah,
not affiliated with the tournament,
doesn't matter.
because they have no idea you're in
They
a
have no
tournament.
idea. That
You
it
know what I
doesn't
mean?
doesn't matter if they're a yaker, a kayaker, if
Because
they're
y'all's
a
drifts can
waiter.
go miles,
Yeah,
right?
I'll jump on a shoreline, and I've gone 7, 8, 9 miles
Oh, wow.
on a shoreline,
And you're
and
just troller moding?
just troller moding, drifting. It depends on where you're at. I know down here, people don't like to use troller motors because the fish hear it and it spooks them. Yeah,
Mm.
I fished the ditch over here. What do they call that? The land cut.
Oh, yeah.
And I've seen them where you can go drifting down the land cut, and just without a trolling motor, the boat pressure pushes them off the flat, off the edge of the water.
Oh, wow.
Just the pressure of the boat alone.
Yeah.
They'll feel it and they'll spook.
Hmm.
And it's the same way, going down other shorelines back home. We do the same thing going down the ICW.
Hmm.
But yeah, back to it. There's so much water.
So you're not gonna jump out onto their
You
boat.
know,
You're not gonna get off your boat, jump on their boat, get a
there's
beer out of their cooler, and
there's hundreds of thousands of miles of water and shoreline. If
because there's a lot of
somebody,
money at stake.
yeah, you got to have etiquette. If you're just out drifting down a shoreline, or you've got a specific stretch of shoreline that you want to target, you know, troll out, make a big loop, go around, and hit the same shoreline again. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do, and it's beyond your control. And for an individual to get upset and start throwing f bombs and
Oh,
waving,
yeah.
flaring away, like a fish out of water,
Shoot their flare at them.
you know, what does that accomplish?
Yeah.
Life's too short to worry about that kind of stuff.
You're an
Make,
amazing man, Gary.
oh, I'm
Like
sorry.
I wish everybody had that mentality
I, you
of
know,
sportsmanship,
I wish,
right?
and I know there's individuals out there that just really take it out of control and go overboard.
Do you think it's
I'm not
because
one of them.
you're not a beginner, right? Obviously, but new to the scene that you haven't gotten to that to
And
where it happens. It's already the same thing has been happening for 15 years, and now you're like, dude, I'm fed up with it. I'm gonna do something now,
and why? What does it accomplish?
right?
I was very fortunate in and I
Because
straightened.
we're a goddamn bull rider, dude. So I know there's some aggression in there.
There used to be in my younger years, and don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. If the right circumstances come around, you can twist off,
Oh yeah.
and anybody can.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
uh, you know, my daughter really grabbed my ear and pulled me to the Lord several years ago, and realized, that life's too short.
Right.
Don't worry about the stuff you can't control. Control what you can control, and the Lord will take care of the rest.
We had a question come out to not forget the whiskey, to not forget the cigar with the whiskey. But I was looking for I know there's a smoke
Smoke
detector
detector.
somewhere around here. Dude, that would be crazy. Man, I wonder if there's any guys out there. Let's go deeper than that. I wonder if there's any of the anglers also that will be like, man, Gary's gonna be fishing that King Ranch shoreline. Go over there and cut him off because I want to fish the King Ranch shoreline.
you know, if that's personally my opinion, if that's what another person has to do in order to get a leg up on me,
Yeah.
I'm doing something right.
Right.
You know, and if that's what they take, and if they beat me because of that, I can sleep at night.
Right.
There's always a higher authority they're going to have to answer to,
Oh yeah.
and that's the way I look at it.
That's amazing, dude.
You know,
Like I think you're the man, I'm gonna piss a whole bunch of people off. But I think you're like I'm gonna say it, Gary.
say it, bro. Hey,
I
this
think
is
you're
our
like the
show.
the most realist tournament angler that has been on the show.
Oh, come on.
No, for real.
Yeah, come on.
Like just your unless you studied on these questions. Unless you got
No,
your daughters
uh,
and your wife involved with these questions. All right, what should I say to this guy?
and this is me, and this is anybody that knows me. I've actually got the nickname on tour, Smiley.
Oh yeah,
I've always got a smile. I like cracking jokes, and again, I was fortunate enough that later in my years, not long ago, that I realized that life is short. That
yeah,
don't sweat the stuff you can't control.
right.
It's beyond your control. The path has already been laid out in front of you. You do your part on what you need to do to go down your path. The Lord will take care of everything else. And I
Yeah,
promise you, I have grown as a person leaps and bounds because of
right.
that. And because of that, that I'm able to stand here in front of this mic and people watching and listening, that if I can touch one person, just one, in this podcast, and that I can help them to get a mentality like that,
You won.
it's worth it. I've won.
Yeah. From now on, you're going to be seeing hashtag BMLG. You know that on my post. Maybe not all. Maybe not all of them. All right. I mean, maybe in every now and then. All right. BMLG. Be more like Gary.
Yeah, come on.
Here we go.
I'll drink to that.
BMLG. Let's show what we're gonna give away. We've already been going 56 minutes, Mr. Green. I told you.
way.
Yeah. Let's
It
see.
feels like 10.
Right. Let's see what we're gonna give away.
All right. I have got from my boy, Jacob Subney,
There you go.
Caden Lures. Nice
Cap.
A nice,
Put it in the camera there, Gary. Put
a
it up in front of the camera.
nice Caden shirt with a hoodie.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, yeah. What? So we got the hat, and then I've got an army,
Uh-oh.
load of Caden Lures. My go-to SBR trash.
Let's see that. Let me see one of those.
Oh, bro, that is Redfish money. This is one of his new colors coming out. And you want to talk about Redfish candy. Where's this color at?
Caden Lures.
Oh, look at here. This is Redfish magic.
Caden
Bro.
Lures. Oh yeah.
That
I like that one.
I would almost
You
eat
don't
this
see
thing.
that often in orange tail,
Oh, bro.
right?
It's money. So I've got a dozen bags of lures.
Jacob Sumney.
Jacob Subney with Caden Lures. Awesome guy. And I've got a Kistler spinning reel.
Uh-oh. Let's see that thing.
Oh, come on.
Series 1 Kistler reel.
Come on.
Coming out of Houston as well, right?
Conroe.
Conroe. That's like the Robstown of Corpus.
There you
Conroe.
go. There you go.
Beautiful though. Beautiful lake, Lake Conroe.
Look at here.
Oh, also a tumbler.
I got a tumbler.
Somebody's gonna win this, guys. I might just keep this for myself. Right, Kistler, if
Bro.
you're watching, I want one of these.
Bro. Money.
Right, here we go.
Money.
This is a size 2000.
It's a
Perfect for
2000.
redfish, trout,
Yes.
anything inshore.
Anything inshore.
Right? We're gonna give this away. There you go.
There you go. We got a bingo.
Joe Alcala says he's the winner, guys. Sorry, we're sorry, guys. We have a winner.
Yeah. God, time.
Yeah, that's a good one. 2000 size 2000, a spinner, right? Kistler Series 1. I don't know if I could get this back in there. This thing's just ready to catch fish.
I'm telling you, it's jumping out the box.
All right,
It's like a Tetris puzzle.
the thing we're gonna have to do though, you're gonna have to pick this up here at the shop, right? So it's 12 packs of lures, a Caden Lures cap, a Caden Lures shirt, a Caden Lures tumbler. Man, Caden Lures really
He
turned up
he
this
turned
time,
it up,
man.
bro. He turned up.
If y'all aren't following Caden Lures, go give them a shout. In order to win, you have to be following these people, guys. Go follow Caden Lures. Go follow Kistler Rods, I think.
Kistler Rods.
Kistler
yes.
Rods, right? Go follow them. And if we find out that you're not following them, we're not going to let you win.
Yeah, we're gonna repo.
All right, we're gonna go get it back, right? All right, so let's keep on moving along. I'm just kidding. Guys, we're gonna go over one more question, but stay tuned because we're gonna give that away here. We're already 59 minutes, Gary. I
Wow.
want to get into the good stuff, right? Let's go over two more questions. Then we'll have to have a part two, right? I know y'all are just on the edge of y'all seats, and then y'all probably are like the brisket. It's already all burned up outside, and
Burnt ends.
you know what I mean. You change y'all's mind. You're gonna make sloppy joes instead of the brisket now.
Chopped beef.
tell us, tell us, let's go over some pro staffs, right?
Okay.
The pro staffs, um, whatever you want, whatever we call them nowadays, pro staff, sponsorships, ambassadors.
Right.
Give me one more name, one more name. Hold on.
Yeah. Supporters.
There you go. What?
I'm fixing to run out of
Affiliates,
adjectives.
right? what what is the difference between them all? Like, why have so many names? Is there some significance between
You know,
the two? Because we see several on your shirt,
right,
right?
right.
Do all of them get the same amount of representation?
You know, no, not all of them, but not all of them have the same type of support
Mm,
or sponsorship, I guess you
right,
want to say. Uh, some give me monetary sponsorships.
right.
That's obviously what everybody is looking for is money to help pay for these things, because
Yeah,
our
it's
entry fees are
expensive.
not cheap.
Right.
And then on the same token, that you're always going to need rain gear. You're always going to need lures.
Yeah, so you do need product at some
You
point.
need product.
Yeah,
And when you're talking $400-500 a rod, and $5 a lure, and you're going through, pack to two packs every tournament, that stuff adds up.
right.
So what I try to do is I put, not that they're all on the same level, but I try to recognize more the guys who are putting out the, you know, 10, 15, $20,000, in deductions versus, the guys that are giving me, a couple $100,
Right.
because everything helps, especially when you're getting into this.
Yeah. Shout out to Jacob Sumney
Shout out to Jacob, my boy.
because
Came
I'm going to
bro.
say it. I'm going to say it because I've already had two car and I'm just going to say it. The monetary sponsors,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They they're huge for the show, right? I mean obviously we could not have the show without our monetized sponsors, but the product sponsors
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Guys, y'all wouldn't be having anything if it was for Jacob Sumney. You know what I mean? Or Kistler, Kistler Ruggins.
Or Trey.
Right?
Trey's an awesome guy.
What's his name?
Trey Kistler,
There you go.
bro.
Here's to you too as well, Mr. Trey Kistler.
Thank you, Trey.
Make sure you're following these guys, Caden Lures and Mr. Kistler at Kistler Rods, right?
Yes.
Do you think that social media has ruined and of course this is Gary Moreno's
No.
opinion, right?
Right.
In your time here as a professional redfish angler, do you think social media presence alone has ruined your chances at sponsorships? Like, do these companies say, man, Gary came up to me, like they're in the meeting, right? And they got about 10, a 10 seat table, and everybody's got their bowl of menudo, and they're all sitting down with a big red and stuff. And they're like,
box.
yeah, right. And then Gary reached out the other day and he's needing some funding to go to the Bassmasters, but I got Ram Garcia over there just posting along, posting his heart out. I mean, he hasn't asked me for anything, so why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why should we give Gary the funding? And that's what media is doing,
Right.
right?
That's exactly it.
Because your post on Facebook, it might not be the same, the magnitude of somebody else, right? Or
Right.
Dillard's or Macy's or
Right.
J.C.
Right.
Penney's or Montgomery Ward or
Right.
Sonic or somebody, right? But me posting a picture of a fish and Gary posting a picture of a fish,
Hmm.
and let's just say we both got 50 likes,
Right.
and let's just say we both have 5,000 followers,
Hmm.
and let's just say you're over there asking for money and I'm not asking for nothing.
Right.
Do you think the companies are like, man, we should just stop paying everybody because we have anglers that we're not even going to reach out to? Because if we do, they're going to want something.
Right.
We might have to give them something, right?
Okay.
Do you think that just the social media influence has tarnished the names like pro staff, sponsorships, ambassadors?
You know, in my opinion, what I see is I don't see it's tarnished. I actually think it helps.
Hmm.
To me, I think it's a huge benefit.
Right,
Personally, you get out of it what you put into it.
right,
So if I'm putting out, you know, 10 posts a day and Rams putting out 10 posts a day, you know, but I'm also pushing the product. I've got more followers. They're more apt to come this way.
right.
Does it help? Does it not? I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, I would suggest and I would hope I would encourage people that are coming into the tournament world and wanting to get into the game
mhm,
because it's on all how you present yourself, how people are perceive you as to what you're going to get out of it.
right,
You know, s- all the big names, all the big sponsors, they're not going to put their name on an individual that's potentially going to go out and devastate their product or their name
yeah.
or something.
There's a
So
lot of chasers out there.
there is, and that's what's really tough getting into this sport because like me that I'm fresh into it. Nobody knows who Gary Moreno is. Nobody knows.
Some
So
do.
some do. But at that point when I started, nobody did.
I'm going to tell you right now, man. You just became worldwide, bro. Right? You're
It's only because I'm on the Ram show.
right. Oh, you're right. I mean, I see that, right? I see it to a certain point. I feel like nowadays, these guys, do you get, well, I'm going to make it even deeper. Do you get mad when you see a upcoming tournament angler?
No,
Like when you go into the captain's meeting and you see Ram Garcia and you're like, dude, I thought Ram Garcia was a damn kayaker.
bro.
Now he's in a Mamba.
Personally, me, I walk into a captain's meeting and I see the guy in the back and he's quiet and you got I call the clique, the group, the
Oh yeah,
veterans, however you want to call them.
all the trout
All,
anglers.
all 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 the guys who've held the $60,000 trophies or paper checks.
Yeah,
They're in a group and you know, I was once that guy, and I remember where I came from.
yeah,
That that's the first guy I want to. Hey man, how's it going? Hey, I'm Gary. I'll go shake his hand.
yeah.
It's I'm human.
Right.
I'm just like anybody else. And I don't foresee myself as a big name. I'm just me.
Hmm.
And if I can present or, you know, be that friend, that somebody that they've got somebody to talk to, that's who I want to be.
Yeah. A lot of people get mad.
A lot of people do, but
You open up a guide business, they get mad. You open up a Patreon, they get mad.
right.
You post up a picture of somebody in one of your spots, they get mad.
Are you mad because they're jealous, or are they mad because they weren't as successful?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's just I don't know. That's not me.
That's that's evolution, man. Because it's gonna happen, Gary.
And it
I'll
is.
see you, Gary.
Really? You were really.
Plus or minus 10.
Plus or minus 10. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm 50.
Okay. So at what you're on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm plus or minus 10, right? I'm 20. Plus or minus 10, I'm 20, right? Sooner or later, I'm gonna be too old for this, man.
Yeah, we all are.
At what age do you draw the line and say, look, I'm 60, I'm 70 years old, and I'm still posting on Facebook?
Bro,
Or is Facebook, I've been told already by my 8-year old, right? She's gonna be 8. Her birthday's next week, right? That the end thing is TikToker.
uh,
And like Facebook is for like,
dinosaurs.
the gentlemen's
Okay.
of
Okay.
of the sport, right?
Uh,
Because that's what Facebook was made for, right? Fishing posts and stuff,
that's what I thought it was for.
right?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
At what age do you say, you know what? I've had enough. I've done what I needed to do. I mean, nobody wants to see. I mean, I don't know. Do they?
Yeah. For me, when I hang it up, it will be because one, I'm just physically unable to
Okay.
do this. Two, I no longer love the sport of what I do.
So you're gonna keep on going till
Bro, I'll literally do this. I'm this passionate about it
yeah,
that either the sport dies, I'm physically can't do it anymore,
right.
or it just becomes no more fun. And
If I was 80 years old, would you still watch the show?
absolutely,
Right? This
absolutely,
is a badass show.
bro,
Man.
because I was
telling
part of
you,
it.
bro.
I was part
I'll
of the
tell you, you're 58.
inception. I'm number
58,
58,
man.
bro. When
58.
we're sitting back and I can sit back on here and rewind and go, man, he's in 580.
Yeah, right.
I was 58.
Yeah, man, he's on shows 6 million.
What?
What the Jose Carrillo is in the house.
Oh, come on,
Says those people are called crabs.
crabs.
They pull you down when you are up. Like in a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, you got a bunch of crabs in there, none of them are gonna get out.
Right.
Pulling you back down, right? I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that.
Jose Carrillo in the house. Jose Carrillo needs to be like a philosopher or something. Right?
There you go.
One more, and we're gonna give something away because I gotta go to a birthday party.
Come on.
Right? What can we expect out of the competitive team in 2024? Let's go even deeper. 2025. What are the plans?
You know, I don't know if there are any plans. I try to shuffle and maneuver all of my season around one tour because the very first year that I tried to get in the tournament world, I was hit and miss everywhere in all of the different tournament circuits. And it really, yeah, I fished a bunch, but I didn't do worth a dang on any of them
Oh,
as a collective, accumulative whole. So the next year is when I said, you know what? I'm going to stick to one tour, and that's the tour I'm going to fish. And I did really well.
what was it?
The elite,
Okay.
the elite. And I did really well. And I said, I was,
Was that when you were in South Padre?
yes,
That's when I was there.
yes,
That's when I saw you.
yes.
And I was like, dude, I want to be more like this guy.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
You need a bigger role model or a taller role model.
The why is everybody going to Mamba?
Mamba.
Mamba boats? I told you we weren't going to talk about it. But I'm about to pick up that third Karbach, and I told you not to touch.
I'm
I'm
kinda
about to open
empty.
it. Why Mamba boats?
You know, there's every boat manufacturer out there have got their niches on certain markets on how one performs to another. Uh, you know, I think this Mamba is probably their V hull is one of the most versatile hulls that I've ever fished out of, and I've owned all the cats, the different cats, all the names.
Mhm.
But for a V hull to perform almost the same, it's not a cat. I'm not saying that it does the same because
They do have a cat coming out,
they
right?
have a cat now coming
Yeah.
out, and that is going to be
The one you're fixing or are on already?
Fixing to be.
is a V-hole.
It's no, it's that's the one I fished last year was a V-hole,
Okay,
and it drafts shallow. It's a rocket.
really.
Oh man, that's a fast little boat.
But they're pricey.
And there's no different than any of the other
Oh,
big names.
okay.
No,
So they're
they're
comparable.
they're very very comparable. But the fit, the finish, the trim, to the extra support in the hatches when you're big guy like me. You step on a hatch and the middle of the hatch
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
sink because it's got reinforcements in the center.
Oh, yeah.
All the
So
little.
it's a super well
Oh
built
man,
boat,
it's a very well designed,
thought
very.
out.
Oh
You
yes,
know,
there was a lot of time put into the V hull, and this cat is twice as much time has been put into it. So
yeah.
I am super excited. I know the entire market is just looking to
I see a
jump
lot
on it.
of boat swaps now, and over the past couple months, over the past year, going from other boats to Mamba in the tournament scene,
Yes,
right?
yes.
That's pretty. That's just that's
It's a big significant.
yeah. That's
It's
super
a
significant.
they're proven winners. Not to mention that you're spending you know quality money on not say it's the most expensive boat out there, but you're getting the craftsmanship and the quality of all of the top names.
Yeah,
Without having to break the bank. And I think that's huge. And that's probably why they have the following and the backlog for the boats that they have on back order is because of that.
yeah.
You know,
Is it a recreational boat or a tournament fishing boat?
both. You
Both.
can trick them out to be the most tournament ready boat, or you can line them out and save you some money without having to go tournament loaded and be just a good performing boat.
Yeah, that's kind of what I look into on kayaks.
Okay.
Of course, the kayaks I'm in aren't a Mamba, right? But
Hey, give it a little while.
but I'll look at the hatches,
Right.
right?
Right.
I'll look at the small stuff that
The
has bothered me
details. The
in
details.
my old kayaks.
Right.
And when I see that a kayak has methodically looked into this things, I'm like,
Yes.
dude, now we have somebody out there doing what we've asked,
Yes.
right? To
Yes.
where it's okay, I'd rather it go faster than this hatch close well,
Right.
right? Like you said, you step on the hatch a little wrong sided,
Yeah.
you kind of sink in there.
Right.
Nobody looks at that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But for somebody to look at that
Yeah.
and it's fixed,
Yes.
okay, we're going in the right
Oh,
direction.
bro,
Now it's worth my money,
you get
right?
you get the reinforcement pads that are underneath the captain's chairs, or you get the extra pad that's glassed. The console is glassed into the hull.
Oh yeah.
Then you get your seal is actually in the raised portion of the hatches, and you've got drain troughs that come out of there, so there's nowhere for water to go up into that. It's impossible.
I heard that the new Mamba is the old um uh SCB.
No,
No,
no, not even
false,
close.
false.
Not
Way
even
better.
close. Way similar. And I'm not going to speak for Jared and Jim because they've gone above and beyond in the design, and I couldn't even begin to imagine what they've put into it.
Right.
But I know that the other boats are double stepped, big steps, straight vents. This is a tri vent, a tri step, and every little trough is designed to do something in a certain way.
Mhm.
They could answer that. I can't, but
So
uh,
it's worth every penny for
it's
sure.
it's going to be it's going to be the cat's meow, bro. This is going to be a game changer.
Oh yeah.
And you think that Mamba Boats kind of was a big name in the tournament scene last year? They're going to dominate this year.
Oh really?
They're going to dominate.
So there's going to be more
They're,
swaps.
yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you foresee the tournament scene being full blown Mamba?
That's up to Jim and Jared.
does that affect the tournament scene?
I don't think so.
Is there a boat manufacturer that supports the tournaments, that sponsors tournaments? And when they see all these Mamba boats, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we don't even have boats in the damn tournament."
And they do, and they do, and it happens,
Yeah,
and it happens.
yeah, I could see that. That'd be pretty significant. We have a full blown Gary Moreno tournament, and a whole bunch of people show up with Ram Garcias. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Yeah, I think that's when you do like this is going to be an only Ram Garcia tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like a Mamba Custom Boats
yeah. It's a
Invitational,
Mamba Boat Owners
right?
Invitational.
And the winner is going to go to the Bassmasters.
What?
And the Bassmasters is going to be held here in Corpus Christi, South Texas.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come out,
Come on.
right?
Hey, I'm in.
That's what we need. Here,
I'm in. I'm
right?
in.
We don't need to be sending our top anglers to Carolina,
Ah,
right?
that's a fish out of water. I know I was.
Guys, all the Carolina people watching, guys,
Hey,
just kidding.
hey,
Don't
no.
go delete yourselves off this group page.
Hey, my hat's off to those guys
Right.
because of
Gary thought about this before. You know, he gave me all these questions and he knew what I was going to say, right? He's just kidding. Let's do a gear breakdown. When we walk into Roy's Bait and Tackle, right? For the upcoming anglers that are coming out, we might not be Bassmasters, right? We might not be tournament anglers. We might not be pro anglers, right? But we want to go fishing.
Yeah.
Right. Give us a breakdown of what we're going to buy when we walk into Roy's Bait and Tackle.
bro. You can walk this when you walk into the door. The first thing I got, hey, welcome to Roy's. Yeah,
Yeah.
what can I help you with? I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, hey,
We're like a family here.
yes,
Man.
yeah. I mean to tell you,
Don't matter what your last name is.
it doesn't matter
Right.
whether you've got 20 stickers on your shirt or you don't have any, and you come in flip flops. You know,
Yeah.
they're going to treat you the same way.
Yeah.
You know, personally, it's kind of hard to choose because they've got everything under the sun here for you name it, from crankbaits to slow sinking baits, swim baits, hard baits. It's everything. So
We're going to start off at the reel counter.
okay,
What am I picking, a bait caster or a spinning reel?
it's on the individual.
What would you recommend?
Me personally, I'm a bait caster guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this guy is just beginning.
Yep. Beginning, you get you a spinning reel.
Okay.
Any of the top name brands that are out there, there's all different manufacturers. It depends on your price range,
Right.
and they've got it. You want to spend $20, you want to spend $2,000.
Right.
They've got it, and anything in between. So you pick your gear based off of your skill level.
Mm.
If a bait caster
And
doesn't,
affordability.
and affordability. If your bait caster, if you don't know how to throw a bait caster, get your spinning reel.
Yeah.
And then, okay, what type of spinning reel, what kind of rod do I want to put on this? Okay, so then the staff here could say, okay, what style of fishing do you want to do? Do you want to throw a cork? Do you want to throw crankbaits? Do you want to throw a swim bait? You want to throw a corky? Whatever the case may be. And then they'll help you pick the rod based off of the style of fishing that you want to do. So you want a medium fast action, a short stiff, extra fast, soft light action, whatever it is, and then you go from there.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll pick you the different size reels. If you want a 1500, you want to go chase tarpon and set up with an 8,000, with an extra heavy rod.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be able to answer anything like that.
All right.
They've got such an array of tackle here. It's
you can get lost.
what
That's why we got so many people here to help out with y'all's needs.
There's such an adversity here, that's the good thing, that they've almost got an SME for every different level of angler that comes out. If you want to go fly fishing on a flat, and that's what you're getting into, and you want to be specific to that, they've got somebody that can help you out with that. Or you want to go offshore fishing, marlin and tuna fish, whatever the case may be, they've got somebody else that will help you with that. And they have the tackle here that you'll be able to look through, affordability, buy, and walk out the door with.
Mm-hmm. When I go down the lures, what color am I buying?
Honestly, I'm going to say one of every color.
SBR. Right.
That's
one of every color.
That's my good.
One of every color.
One of every color.
Oh wow!
I couldn't tell you how many times I've gone out and you're going to go fish an area and you're thinking you're going to get there and it's going to be crystal clear water. You want something that's light, that's not as flashy, maybe a smaller bait because the fish are not as aggressive. And you get there and the water's dirty, it's chocolate milk, and it's just horrible. There's grass floating all in there. So you want a dark color bait.
Hmm.
Do you want something that's going to sink quick to get below the grass, or you want something that's bigger? There's I buy one of every color.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Because you never know the conditions and where you're going to exactly be at, and you never know what the fish are going to react to.
Yeah.
So I buy one of every.
We all know that you would buy AFTCO, but if you weren't, right, and you walk in here, sun protection, we already made full circle, right?
Right.
When we get in on the water,
Right.
what are we buying? We're going to buy a cap,
You can buy a cap. You're going to buy
a hood, hood.
some kind of a PFD long shirt with a hoodie, and you'll buy a sunscreen, a face screen. There you go.
Oh,
There,
like
there,
like
there,
like a
there.
buff,
There you go. Get a buff. There you go. Get you a buff,
maybe some gloves.
some gloves. A good pair of glasses. What? You could tell this is your first time.
Man, I don't know about you, man, but I don't that I don't know, man. That you know
Uh,
you can get covered up with this
bro.
thing right here,
It,
dude.
it, yeah,
And if I got glasses on,
yeah, yeah. You're set.
those sun rays would not have. They would not know what the heck to do
No,
right
not at
now.
all, bro. The clouds would come out. They just
Yeah,
go away.
this is made my AFTCO guys here at Roy's Bait and Tackle. They got all kinds of sizes here, man. All kinds of colors, all kinds of everything. This is if you need something else, I might just leave it on because of these UVs.
UV.
Right, you never know.
What? Yeah.
Let's give this thing away, man. What are we doing? Kistler Reel,
Kiss the
Caden
reel.
cap,
Caden cap.
Caden shirt, and 12 packs of Caden lures. Almost every color they got.
Almost every color. The new
Right.
colors for this year that they just
Let's
came
see a
out
new
with.
color. Let's check it out.
Check it out.
If they're not on the shelves by now, they will be here shortly.
This.
But you're gonna be the first to get it. Oh, that's the one with the orange tail.
I
Let's
call
see
it
that.
my pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
That's what I call it.
Oh, it's so new it ain't even got a name.
Yeah.
Is it?
Jacob has named it, but I call it my pumpkin.
There you go. It's got an orange tail. It's got it's almost like a
Okay.
roach color.
Yeah.
Roach with an orange
Look at it.
tail. Oh, that's the big one.
Yeah. This is the 5-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
And
want to
that's
talk
more
about
like a sangria
bro,
color.
the durability. Oh my gosh, unreal. Unreal.
Good
So,
stuff.
yes.
First person. There you go. Halloween. Halloween. color.
Halloween. There you go.
Man, we should have done a naming contest. Person who picks the best name would have won.
Oh,
Unfortunately, we didn't do that. So whoever tells me, right, first person, and I'm gonna make it even deeper.
uh-oh, come on. Show me what
Austin
you're working
Matthews,
with.
you ready? Austin Matthews is like, man, he's already got like 3 laptops open. He's ready to go. What you got to do is you have to tag the company. If you don't know how to tag the company, guys, it's the @ symbol, right? It's the @ symbol. Start typing the company's name out. It's going to be super easy. And hit. It's going to be at the very top. You're going to hit that. And then you're going to answer the question. All right?
Hey, can I play?
No.
Oh,
Your wife can't play either. Man. Where is she? She can't just be down there just waiting. She wants to win all this stuff back. Old Kistler was like, man, we're going to let you borrow this. All right? You kick us. All right, this is how it's going to go down, guys. All right, we're going to give you some time. We're about a 10, 12-second delay, so we're going to move on to other things, but we're going to be watching. What you got to do is @ symbol, right? There's a whole bunch of people waiting here also, so whoever's listening but not looking over there,
everybody's got their phones.
right? If y'all are looking, just yell it out. Yell the answer out. Whoever wants to win. If y'all want to win, it's going to be the @ symbol, the company name, and what it stands for, right?
Oh, throw a monkey
Okay.
wrench in it. Come on.
So it's going to be an acronym,
Come on.
is what us English teachers like to call acronyms, right?
Don't ask me how to spell that.
Is that English? Right? Grammar? There you go. Grammar, grammar class. Man, I came out of Robstown, man. So y'all already know. All we know is gizzards and baseball, right? I'm just kidding. A lot of good people came out of Robstown. Man. A lot of good people. Here we go, right here. Right here to Robstown. You know what? I'm already done with that. I never picked it. I told you
What?
that we weren't gonna pick the one up there, but it's worth it. Here's to Robstown
Salud.
and Beeville.
Then Vivio. And Jacob Sumney.
Mm-hmm. And Richard Kissler.
And Richard. Trey.
And everybody else. Did I call him Richard?
Call it Richard.
Right? Trey Kissler.
Trey.
I'm sorry, man. I'll never do that again. And everybody else watching today as well. Shout out to y'all as well, man. Without you all, honestly, the brisket would just come out on time. And right, everything would just be perfect on the barbecue pit. But instead, we're here giving y'all a hell of a show. We're giving some badass stuff away.
Oh yeah.
We're hopefully, like Mr. Moreno said earlier, you're picking just a bit of, if it would just be a bit that you take away from this show, we succeeded in this adventure of Spooled Life Live, right?
Yes.
First person, guys. Remember, you have to tag the company, right? There's a purpose, right? There's a purpose on this, right? Tag the company, space, and then tell me what those letters stand for. Man, everybody already knows. They've just I'd be all over this thing, dude. I would have just have to copy and paste this already, dude. First person to tell me. Ready?
You got me in suspense.
First person to tell me what AFTCO stands for. Remember, tag the company and then tell me what it stands for. AFTCO. First person to tell me what AFTCO stands for.
Everybody over here is over there. Look at them. Look at them all over here.
They're coming. They're running, man. Let me go grab one of them.
Here they come. Here comes the passes.
It's got to be on the tag. It's got to be on it. There it is. Cliff Nagel, American Fish and Tackle Company. Hey, that's close, Cliff. That's close, but it's not it. Is it?
I did.
I mean, it's close, man. Oh.
Uh-oh.
We got a winner. We got a winner, and it's Austin Matthews. Man, Cliff Nagel, I'm sorry, man. It's American Fishing Tackle Company, not American Fish Tackle Company. What do you want to do, Gary?
Oh,
I'm going to leave it up to you, man, because that's a close one, man.
The good thing is this is the Ram show, so Ram gets to make the decision. It's splitting hairs.
That's a tough one, dude. That's tough.
You be fair, you 50-50.
Yeah, that's true.
You can be fair and go 50-50.
Whew. I hate it when this happens.
Yeah, you hate to lose on a technicality, but me as a competitor, I hate to win on a technicality.
Cliff Nagel says Austin has the correct answer. So we're all on board.
There's the nugget.
Right.
That's the guy with the sportsmanship.
Yeah, we can't deviate from.
That's the guy with the sportsmanship.
Yeah. You know what, Cliff? I'm going to send you also a package as well. Hopefully, Mr. Kissler and Jacob are watching, and we'll coordinate a separate package. If not, I'm going to send you a package of my own from Spooled Life Live, right? So let me write this down because I'll forget. I already jumped into this one right here, right? So
oh, this has been fun.
Austin Matthews is the winner of the real 12 packs of Caden, a shirt, a Caden cap, and also a Caden Lures tumbler. That's an amazing package, man.
That's
right.
I'd like to take that back home with me.
Yeah. So I got a package that we were going to keep this here at the shop, but I got a package going out to Austin Matthews. So I'm just going to ship everything at once.
There you go.
Right. Austin Matthews won last week's or 2 weeks ago show price pack.
Dedication.
And that's true, man. Because a lot of people will be like, "Hey, well, I ain't even gonna watch the damn show because Austin Matthews wins all the time." Guys, you got to watch the show to win.
It's
I mean, if
it's
this
easy,
is a no-brainer. I mean, dude, I'd be winning 100%. I'd be Austin Matthews' worst enemy
bro.
if I was watching.
I'm a winner already because I'm
Right.
here.
Oh yeah.
I'm part of
Oh,
the
I
show.
guarantee it, dude. Right. Cliff Nagel, we're gonna send you something, dude, for being super close, man. Let's see if there was any. Also, man, Cliff Nagel. So for some reason, Cliff Nagel's tag didn't work.
Oh no,
So that could either mean two things: that he's either not following AFTCO, or I don't know, Cliff Nagel. We said that if we got to be following these companies, right? Whew, you got lucky on this one. We're gonna send you something either way, because you know what? We do whatever the hell we want here at
that's
Spooled
it.
Life Live,
That's
right?
what I'm
Right.
talking about.
There we go.
There are no rules.
Cliff Nagel and Austin Matthews, congratulations, and everybody else that participated as well. Y'all are some amazing people. Let's give a shout out to your sponsors
Bro,
and affiliates.
I have to give a huge shout out to my guys at Mamba, Jim, Jared,
Oh yeah,
all of the guys over there.
Jared Poole.
Dude, that team is amazing. They are working diligently, long hours to get my rig ready for my first event coming up in 2 weeks.
What is it?
The EFL,
Okay,
Elite Fishing League.
elite fishing. Okay, the elite.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've got that coming up. Um, I got to give HTX Midstream, um, Jimmy Mayberry, and his wife with Crisscross Creations. They are great,
should we do another one,
great.
or should we
No,
wait to the end?
bro, and I've got quite a few.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. We might have to
Uh,
bust it out of the ice chest here, right?
my boy Scotty with Republic Testing. They test all of our welders. He's one of my
Okay.
sponsors. He's great guy. A plethora of knowledge
Right.
when it comes to codes. He's my go-to guy when it comes to codes. Uh, Fins Fishing, Fins Braid. Pure Fishing, the whole line of Pure Fishing. My boy talked about him all day long. Jacob Sumney with
Yep.
Caton, of course. Trey Kistler, Kistler Rods. He makes some amazing products. We're coming. I say we. I'm helping, but he is coming up with a specific, more redfish geared saltwater redfish rod. So he's
Kistler.
Kistler is.
Okay.
So he's coming out with a saltwater line. He's actually had a saltwater line out, but something geared more specifically to what we do. So I'm very, very excited for that. Um, who else we got?
Let me see. Let
Power
me
Pole.
look at you
My
here.
my guys, the team at Power Pole.
Oh yeah.
They're great. You can't go wrong with a move.
4 Horsemen.
The Four Horsemen. Those guys over there are great.
Crisscross Creation.
That's
Oh,
Jake.
we already said that.
Yeah,
Right.
Crisscross Creation.
Waterland.
Waterland. My glasses, amazing
Right.
glasses. They've come out with a new line, and I don't know what in the world they put in the
Man, so
lenses.
Waterland,
Gosh, bro.
the and correct me if I'm wrong, and if this doesn't play out, it doesn't play out, right? But and I've already had 3 Karbach, so you already know how I get, right? We were gonna give away some Waterland optics,
We were.
but it
We
didn't
were.
show up in time.
I didn't. The mail did not run in
So
time.
we're
I
gonna give
had.
them away the next show,
Okay, I'm
right?
good with that.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Here we
Yeah,
go. Y'all heard it here first, guys.
I got some apparel, some buffs,
Oh, there you go. You see,
glasses.
there you go.
So
Yeah, perfect. That'd be perfect for the show we're gonna have. I want to say here in 2 weeks. We try to do them every two
yeah,
weeks. You know what I mean?
that one's
We.
gonna be. I might be back in 2 weeks to pick up the boat.
Oh well, that's perfect.
So maybe we'll
Yeah.
we'll put it
No,
tentative.
we'll just ship it.
We'll put it tentative. Ship the boat.
We'll ship the stuff.
Oh, ship the. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Here's to everybody involved with Mr. Moreno's success.
Thank you, everybody. And most importantly, thank the good Lord above
Oh
for
yeah.
blessing all of us.
Yeah.
And me especially with my family and my success.
Dude. Ever since South Padre, when I saw your whole fan base. I've been like, dude, this is for real, man. You know what I mean? I haven't had something like that since I made all A's in kinder. Right.
Kinder.
Right. Guys, thank y'all so much. Like I said, we have a show in the next on the about 2 weeks from now. I like to keep them 2 weeks apart around there to get the most traction for our sponsors, the most traction for our guests, right? It's not about me, guys, it's about you all.
Yes.
Right? I want you all to learn. I want y'all to get outside. I want y'all to have what y'all need to succeed, right? If you see me in the tournament scene, just don't fish it, man. Y'all don't want to fish if I'm fishing, right? I'm just kidding.
We chalk it up as a donation.
Right, there you go, right? I'm just kidding, guys. We got a bunch of stuff coming up here in Gary for president, right? Man, have you ever thought about running
Dude,
for any sort of
I ran last night at the kickball field and it didn't win.
Oh no, I'm talking about like for some political.
Oh no!
We got a buddy. We got a guy here, Bob Rivera, running for commissioner,
Come on.
and he's gonna win. So you can't run for that. But I'm talking about like for, dude, that's where you need to be.
No, bro. I'm gonna stick to what I know and what I'm good at and what the Lord's blessed me to do. So
Yeah,
I'm still trying to find that.
you're an amazing person, dude, and I'm glad to have to know you, right,
Oh,
and
thank
to know you at this level, and not just know you at the like button. You know
Right,
what I mean? Just to
right,
have a real conversation with you
right.
and to get to know you who the hell Gary is. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to the party after this.
Oh, dude, we just switched it. It's not their birthday party anymore. It's your birthday party.
51.
We're like, hey, she's turning 8, but guess what? We're doing a plus or minus is right on the edge right there, right? So guess what? We'll celebrate your birthday tomorrow. Today's Gary's birthday. We're celebrating. Thank y'all so much, guys. We'll see y'all next time on the Spooled Life Live.
Thank you, everybody, for
Wait,
tuning in.
one more.
Oh,
Hold
come
on.
on, come on.
We forgot to give a shout out to the show sponsors, right?
Oh, come on.
Happy 8th birthday to my daughter. My daughter's turning 8 next week.
Happy birthday.
Next Saturday, Friday,
Friday.
on the 1st, right, is my daughter's 8th birthday. And it's gonna be pretty good, dude. We're having it at a skate land.
Oh,
And man, dude, I mean, if I get enough Karbach in me, I might skate.
hey,
I haven't skated since I was young, man.
bro. Last
I
time I did,
remember it was painful.
I rolled. I didn't skate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a little wider now. I'll probably
Oh,
roll
dude,
longer.
we used to skate, man. Me and my buddy Santiago. We used to skate down the sidewalks in Robstown. We didn't even need a skate. I had a truck. Dude. We didn't even need a skate down the sidewalks. We just did it because we wanted to.
Just for the
Like,
heck of it.
dude, there'd be like I don't know if, I mean, there were, guys, we're talking about the sidewalks in Robstown, all right? So, they're not even, they got cracks in them,
Back in when I was in Robstown, they didn't really have sidewalks.
it was like a caliche walk.
You went on the side of the street on the where
Yeah,
the water ran.
right? So there was this old abandoned uh, car dealership that used to be there. And of course, that was the showroom floor. So it was super smooth. You know what I mean? So that's where we went. But it was only about like a 6x6 square. But it was like super smooth. Like super smooth to like, hey, guess what? You're about to bust your butt here on this super smooth concrete.
Don't sweat on it because
Yeah.
it's slick.
So we would fall, man. And granted, this was like at the intersection, right where the McDonald's is at, in the corner of 44 and 77, high traffic area. And we're skating this thing and we're falling down, right? So people are yelling and stuff and like, hey, people see me falling, and it was a good time. Something I'll never forget. But long story short, I'm not a skateboarder anymore. I got
Yeah.
back problems now, and
That's
barely sit on my kayak and stuff. But
that's me.
guys, it's been a hell of a show. Roy's Bait and Tackle, Down South Lure, Tow Corpus Christi, AFTCO, Marshware, Sarge Custom Rods, New Canoe, and Karbach Brewing. Man, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff with the New Canoe kayak. We're about to install a 3 horsepower motor.
What?
Right? Of course, we're going to take some pictures of that, post it on my pages. Ram Garcia, of course, on Facebook, and The Spooled Life on Instagram. Right? It's been a hell of a show. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much for Mr. Gary showing up here all the way from the H.
Thank you.
Go Astros.
Go Stros.
They're about to start. Have they started yet?
They're fixing to.
I'm like that guy that if you made it to the World Series, I'm about to go buy a cap, right? I'm going to go buy a cap and I might bet some money on the team, right?
My wife is chomping at the bit to pull a trigger on a bunch of season tickets.
Oh, that's good, right? Maybe she might donate some.
Yeah.
We might give away some, right? To the Spooled Life. It's been a hell of a show. Y'all enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see y'all next time. Remember to go follow Mr. Gary. What is your media sites?
Just Gary Moreno and Spotted Addiction.
There you go. Gary Moreno, Spotted Addiction on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Instagram.
IG. That's it.
TikToker.
No talker. That's it.
That's it. Facebook.
Facebook.
Gary Moreno. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.